received our initial diagnosis about 5 days after Michaela was born. My name is Shelly Fransen. My daughter is Michaela Fransen. She is 20 years old and she has Down syndrome. Michaela had a perfect ABCAR score, and she didn't have any of the heart problems that are a lot of times associated with children with Downs, and so it was kind of a shock. Our doctor was very well prepared. I think he had done some research before we met with him and basically had set up appointments with us to meet with the people at First Steps, and pretty much stayed on us. I think if we wouldn't have gotten involved in First Steps, that Dr. Afshar probably would have come and got us and drug us there himself. Going through the First Steps classes, when Michaela was born, the First Steps program was pretty strong in Springfield, and we actually took her up to classes I want to say twice a week when we first started, and that entailed my husband and I being there because they would have a class for parents. So we met with, I think, 2 other sets of parents that also had children about the same age as Michaela, and they all had the same diagnosis. So that was very helpful because you kind of saw where other people were at and got to talk out some feelings that you had, but also the amount of wonderful things they did with Michaela as far as having OT and PT time, and she learned sign language that way, and I mean, it was just an amazing time. You don't really know what to think. You have all kinds of concerns. I think it's been likened to when you have a child with a disability. Initially, it's almost like going through the grieving process. There's a great poem out there that talks about going on a trip, and you want to go to Europe and you want to go to Paris and France, and instead you end up in Holland, and you didn't want to go to Holland, but you're there. However, you start to realize that Holland has windmills and tulips and all those great things, and so I think the best advice I can give is that never put limitations. Never put limitations on your child. You'll be amazed at what they can do. You have to let people in. There are people out there that have gone through the same thing, and I likened it earlier to a grieving process you have to go through. If you're involved in church, let those people help you. You have to, in order to be the best you can for your child, you have to accept it, and then you have to realize all the wonderful possibilities that are out there. It's okay. I think I would say it's just one more thing. I would not for anything in this world trade Michaela for anybody. The amazing joy that she brings daily, not just to us, but to those people she works with, those people that see her at church, when we go to ball games. We were at a Chiefs ball game a couple years ago, and the fans sitting around her were just amazed at her. Take help from others. Do not try and do it on your own. And I think the number one thing is something our doctor told us: do not put limitations on your child. We've never put limitations on Michaela. We've always treated her the same way we treated her older sister. She was expected to do the same things. And matter of fact, she probably does more. As far as keeping her room clean, never have to tell her. She does it on her own. So, and some of that I'm sure is just personality. You get that when you have different sets of kids, whether one of them has a disability or not. But, don't put limitations on that child. Have high expectations for them. Michaela graduated from high school. She now is a contributing member to society. She works at Big Cedar Lodge. She works in the laundry department. She works huge machines that I never would even be able to figure out probably. She is able to stay at home by herself during the day when mom and dad go to work, if she's not working. And she absolutely loves and adores her nephew, who absolutely loves and adores her. So it's not a death sentence, folks. It's a joy.